Okay, we're here at the home of Cynthia Rader, and I'm going to be asking Cynthia some questions about what happened during a 3-day trial. Was that back in June, or could you tell us the time frame?
It was August 23rd, 24th, and 25th of this year.
Okay, and could you tell me exactly what your son, and we're not going to mention your son's name, would you tell us how old he is and exactly what he was being charged with?
My son is now 16 years old at the time of the trial, and he was being charged with robbery and assault and person felony.
Okay, and how old was he when the alleged assault took place?
He was 14 years old.
He was 14 at the time. Okay, and could you tell us exactly where the assault and the robbery allegedly occurred?
In Muvane High School in Muvane, Kansas, in the parking lot.
Okay, and what time of the day was this at?
It was right at noon.
Okay, and was maybe you can, without mentioning the victim's name, just basically tell us at least what the victim said occurred and what the circumstances were, the environment was when this alleged assault and robbery took place.
Yes, this alleged victim came to the high school to pick up her little sister from school, and my son and his friend were just getting out of their school. It was around noon. It was summer school, and there were a parking lot full of other parents and people and staff, and they asked her if they could drive her car, and she said yes, they could.
Okay, so the victim, was the victim friends of the two boys involved?
She had a good relationship with them. Close friends doing things outside of school, no.
Okay.
But close relationship.
Okay, so these are basically two 14-year-old boys, and the girl was what, 16?
My son was 14. The other boy was 15, and I think she was 16, yes.
Okay, and so she's driving to a crowded parking lot as the kids were coming out of summer school to pick up her little sister, and so the two boys asked if they could drive the girl's car, and you were there for the trial, so you know what the girl testified to. What did she say happened during that time frame, to the best of your recollection?
Well, she tells the court that she was sitting in her car and that my son and the other boy came over and forced her out of her car, pulled her out of her car, dragged her on her back on the cement, grabbed the keys from her and drove around the parking lot of the school.
Okay, so according to the 16-year-old girl, it was kind of like some sort of carjacking occurred. And do you think that the time frame was consistent with when there would have been a lot of people in the parking lot?
Definitely. She did testify in court that was a time where there was a lot of children were being let out of school and their parents were there picking them up, and also that her car was in the fire lane, which is directly in front of the school, and it also is directly in front of the office, big office window. There's no way a person could see something, be in that office and not see.
Okay, now did you have any type of written report from the principal who had observed the three kids?
Yes, she sent me an email and she told me that they were just laughing and joking in the parking lot, the girl with the two boys. She also gave a statement to the Muvane police detective and she was telling him that she drove into the parking lot, and what she saw was my son was sitting in the driver's side of her car, the other boy was sitting on the passenger side, and the girl was standing outside of her car laughing and joking with the boys.
Okay, so for this alleged crime to have occurred, the two boys would have had to have been on the outside of the car, the girl would have had to get back in the car, and then that, supposedly the carjacking would have occurred after the laughing and joking. I mean...
No, that is incorrect. The carjacking, the supposed or alleged carjacking, occurred before she was seen in the parking lot in the fire lane with the boy sitting in her car laughing and joking, and she was playing with them. Okay,
now, do you know if the girl had a cell phone, and do you know what day did this incident occur, and when was it reported to the police?
It occurred on June the 5th, 2009, and according to her statements, they didn't report it until June the 6th at midnight, 2009.
So it would have been at least 18 to 24 hours, or I'm sorry, 36 to 48 hours after it occurred.
That is correct.
Okay, now let's kind of switch gears here. When did the trial occur, and how long did the trial last?
It was for 3 days.
And what was the date of the trial, and how much longer was the trial after the incident?
It started on August the 23rd, and then we also was in court the 24th and also the 25th.
Now, was this like 2 months after the incident or 14 months after the incident?
It was 14 months after the incident.
Okay. And did you hire an attorney, or was there a court-appointed attorney?
We were assigned to our case a court-appointed attorney that would be a trial attorney, and that was Carl Mong.
Okay, and do you recall which judge picked him out?
Yes, it was Judge Harold Flagel.
Judge Flagel. And was Judge Flagel the trial judge?
Yes, he was.
Okay, now we need to get a little bit of background about how the court system works in Wichita, Kansas. And do you know who the associate district attorney is for the juvenile division?
The associate is Jonathan Sullivan.
I'm sorry, Jonathan would be the assistant.
Correct.
Who is Jonathan's boss?
Oh, yes, Ron Pascal.
Ron Pascal.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the court reporter during this 3-day trial?
Well, at this time we didn't know it, but we didn't know she was his wife, but it was Corinne Pascal.
I see. Okay. Now, there was a 3-day trial,